Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the R2R Broadcast Network live coverage from the Full Send Cup Series at the Charlotte Roval. Second time we've been to this track this year on the Full Send schedule. This time, the Roval layout as the drivers get ready to conquer their second road course of the season en route to a playoff berth late in the regular season point standings. As always, my name is Zachariah Cartlitz. I'll take you through the entire night of action right here on the R2R Broadcast Network. So I appreciate all of y'all joining us here tonight for more Full Send Cup Series action. Information on tonight: the Grid Gold 125 at the Roval. We appreciate Grid Gold for sponsoring this event, if they did so themselves. 5 total tire sets, 4 in the pits, 45% fuel with 55 laps. There are stages tonight despite being a road course. Those are at lap 15 and lap 30. So 15 lap stages en route to a 25 lap final stage for a 55 lap total. Check out that schedule on the right side of the screen. Charlotte Roval is the second to final race in the regular season. We'll finish it off next week at Atlanta Super Speedway before kicking off the round of 12 for the first ever Full Send Cup Series season. A lot on these drivers' minds. One of them can come home with a victory that can help them get in the lock for the point standings. Also checking out, speaking of point standings, the points themselves. Zach Lockett looking to start to close off this lead with 456 points, now a 65-point lead over Colin Bollinger, an 83-point lead over Nicholas Martinez. Of course, John Ross just won last week. He's 108 points back. Lockett, all he needs today is a good result, but I forgot about this. He is not here. He will not be here. So the guys who are in the field tonight, which is not Bollinger either, from what I'm seeing. So Martinez, Ross, those drivers could be in a position to go top of the point standings and win the regular season championship just by these absences that Bollinger and Lockett are presumably having late in the regular season. Also important to check out the cut line. Didn't really move at all since last race. Keith Vaughn and Jesse Graham are just a few points above Blevins and Brzezowski for the final spot. Weaver's also there. Josh Gallagher's close. Kip Beasley, Alberto Abar, Chris Mackey all still on the bubble. Need a good result this week to lock themselves in. A lot to look forward to tonight from the Charlotte Roval. The Grid Gold 125 starts now. 6 minutes left in qualifying, and let's kick off tonight's broadcast with Terrence Murphy, who's currently setting his qualifying laps here at the Charlotte Roval, looking to get himself in a good spot. Terrence Murphy's had a pretty good season, top 5 in the point standings for most of the season. Consistent. As long as he has a good result today, he should be locked into the playoffs. Repping a new scheme this week, a Red Bull number 4 Chevrolet. I'm multitasking. I'm watching the Daytona qualifying as I am broadcasting this race, so good seeing you, German guy. Tired. Good seeing you, German guy, though. Of course, I'm also watching the Daytona qualifying. Why would I not? It's Daytona after all. I have the privilege of living about 30 minutes from Daytona, so it's always nice getting to watch it before I go there this weekend. Terrence Murphy puts himself P3 on the board. Hello, Mr. Murphy. Great starting position so far for the number 4. Nicholas Martinez Jr. has been absent the last few weeks, but he is back, looking to put himself in a good position. He's in a position to possibly have 2 good results and lead the regular season point standings once again to finalize the championship in the regular season races. It all starts tonight for the number 48. Can he get it done? Unlike other road courses and other leagues that have no cautions, Full Send still is conducting stages. So we will have 2 stages at lap 15 and 30 before a 25 lap feature to end the race. And currently top of the board, check this out, John Ross with Nathan Brzezowski in second. He needs a good points result tonight, and right now he's starting on the front row. Martinez closing his final laps. Let's see what he can do. Crossing the line right now. Let's see where he places his number 48 here this evening. Oh, loose at the end, but it'll count. Does not hit a wall. Goes P4 for Nicholas Martinez. Could have been a little bit better if he did not touch that wall, but either way, he's starting in a good spot tonight. Lane Phillips crossing the line. A one-time pole sitter this year. Puts himself P9 on the grid. Austin Hobart in the pack out Ford Mustang will now also cross the line. Passing the final few chicanes into the start-finish line. Where will the 74 go? P9 for Austin Hobart. And then he just he does the celebratory bowling ball into the turn 1 wall. Always love seeing that. Michael Prince in the Holly Chevrolet Camaro. Diamond Racing Machine. He's had a pretty good season as well. A good result tonight should lock him into the round of 12. It all starts with where he qualifies. Let's see where Michael Prince can start tonight. Current pole sitter John Ross, last week's winner, getting some steam here recently. Could be going for a late race title favorite opportunity if he continues to win races and start on the pole. Nathan Brzezowski in second, Alberto Abar in third. How about Terry Vincent starting fifth? He's been consistent the last few weeks. A clean exit for Michael Prince crossing the line. Where will he go? Still uncertain. Looks like he may have hit a wall that lap, so he will still be starting in the 22nd position. He still has another lap to prove himself, though. Jesse Graham. Been consistent this season. We also saw him on Monday night racing in the Side Draft Racing League Clash. Crossing the line. Where will Jesse Graham go? P18 for the number 15. Bottom of the current qualifiers. Only other driver still to do a qualifying lap is Michael Prince. First lap was not a good one for the number 31. He hit some sort of wall or some sort of incident marker. And now he has to have a clean lap to mark himself in front of the field. Or else he'll start back in last place, P22. Man, just watching the Daytona qualifying, it's going crazy right now. I was told by Chris Mackey to not spoil anything, so we'll no longer be doing that. But the guys on the cut line, man, they are close. Same thing as this league. The drivers on the playoff cut line. Neck and neck coming into the final two races. It's going to be quite interesting watching these drivers right on the 12th place cut line decide their fate in the first ever Full Send Cup Series playoffs. Alright, Michael Prince crosses the line that time. Did that one count? Yes, it did, and that one was a good one. He goes up to P6 on the grid, locking himself in a good position for tonight's event. About a minute and a half left in qualifying. Here's your current results. 19 cars elect to qualify. 4 cars elect to stay inside and starting in the back of the field. That includes Jimmy Jason, Chance Page, Daniel Holdcroft, and Ryan Castleberry. Your 19 competitors currently on the field with John Ross, last week's winner, and Nathan Brzezowski in need of a good points night, currently starting on the front row. Here's the point standings once again. How about Brzezowski? 14th in the point standings, currently 13 points behind the cutoff, starting in the front row and staying there throughout the race would definitely help his situation, especially with Jesse Graham starting back there in P19, currently the final guy in. A few guys absent tonight. Zach Lockett and Colin Bollinger, first and second in the point standings. Both are not present. And John Ross starts on the pole with Martinez in fourth. They could both be in needs of a very good starting position and hopefully can get themselves a win and maybe even caboose them their way forward and win the regular season championship. That would be huge for one of those two drivers late in the season to get it done, even though they are currently 83 and 108 points behind the points leader, Zach Lockett. We've already been told Zach Lockett will not be attending the rest of the regular season races, so we'll see where that puts these drivers after Atlanta next week. Terrence Murphy, Austin Hobart, Michael Prince, Chris Mackey, they are all pretty much good, I would say, to get into playoffs. Maybe you could say Alberto Abar as well, starting in third, but Kip Beasley, Keith Vaughn, Jesse Graham, they are definitely on the hot seat. Same goes for Stephen Blevins, Nathan Brzezowski, Michael Weaver, and Josh Gallagher, along with others below 16th who are in need of some good point results to lock themselves into the round of 12 playoffs. Well, the second to final race in the regular season at Charlotte Roval is now underway. No more delays. It's time to kick off tonight's action with the starting lineup here from the Charlotte Roval. John Ross, last week's winner, coming off of a great note. He's starting on the pole tonight. Best seat in the house, looking for back-to-back wins alongside Nathan Brzezowski, 14th in the point standings. A good starting position. Let's see if the 97 can convert that into a good result here tonight. Back in row number 2 is Alberto Abar. And Nicholas Martinez Jr., third in points, has an opportunity to leapfrog 2 spots to win the regular season championship. It would all start tonight here at the Charlotte Roval. Back in row number 3 is Terry Vincent and Michael Prince, 2 drivers who have been very consistent recently, looking for a good result tonight. Back in row number 4 is Terrence Murphy, who's 6th in the point standings, alongside Brian Matthews, who has attended every single race, looking for his best result on the season, starting in P8. Michael Weaver and Lane Phillips back there in row number 5, round out your top 10. Josh Gallagher and Austin Hobart round out your fast 12. Deeper in the field tonight, Keith Vaughn and Brandon Kelly, 2 regulars back there in row number 7. How about Chris Mackey and Calvin Harvey? Mackey needs a good result tonight to lock himself into the playoffs. Let's see if he can do it. Jamin Bernhardt and Daniel Holdcroft back there in row number 9. I'm not racing, of course, so that'll put Jacob Hoskins and Chance Page back there in row number 10. Jesse Graham and Jimmy Jason back there in row number 11, with Ryan Castleberry rounding out the field here tonight to make a 23-car field from the Charlotte Roval. Pace car should be rolling off here any second, and we are going to be off for the first stage. 15 laps it'll be, along with the second stage, both 15 laps in total, with the final stage being 25 laps for a grand total of 55 laps of action here tonight. The second road course on the season, the first one was won in dominating style by a driver who is not even here tonight. That would have been the 27 of James McRae. McRae actually has not been here since that win, so a newcomer winner for a road course tonight. It will 100% be guaranteed. Who will come out on top? It's time to find out. Can't talk enough about this adrenaline racing Ford Mustang of John Ross. Won his first career race last week out of nowhere, essentially. He went from top 10 competitor to fringe championship favorite late in the season. And he is now running up that win last week with a pole position. Let's see if Ross can convert that into a back-to-back victory, only seen out of Bollinger so far this year. There's still time, especially with the playoff format, to decide a late race title favorite. Maybe Ross is the one that could be in that situation as the season continues to go on. Hoskins always having supporters. Hoskins starting back there in 19th. Gonna get used to this road course and hope he can avoid all the chaos up front. Your 47 Ford Mustang is always the fan favorite. Watch out for him as the race continues to go on. And how about Nathan Brzezowski, 14th in the point standings before tonight's event. Starting on the front row with last week's winner, John Ross. A win tonight would pay huge prizes to the number 97. Can that first career win come tonight to lock himself into the first ever Full Send Cup Series Round of 12 playoffs? Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the R2R Broadcast Network. The Grid Gold 125 from Charlotte Roval, the second to final race in the Full Send Cup Series regular season. My name is Zachariah Cartledge. Just like I have done the entire season, I will take you through the entire night of action. We hope you enjoy it. The safety car tonight is a Porsche. It will be coming off of turn 4 and into the pit road. These drivers will be let loose. Charlotte Roval is very unique. There is a chicane right at the end of the lap, right before the start-finish line. That's actually where the restart zone is in hand. So these drivers always got to watch their restarts, try their best to not get loose or slide their tires before we go green. But here we go. 15 laps for the first stage. It's time to kick off some road course racing from the Full Send Cup Series. John Ross, Nathan Brzezowski, Nicholas Martinez Jr., and Alberto Abar round out your fast 2 rows. Pace car rolls in. It's time to kick off tonight's action. The Grid Gold 125 is officially underway. John Ross leads us to the restart zone for the first time tonight. We are green flag racing from the Charlotte Roval, and they're already loose on the get-go. Alberto Amar spins. He'll save it. That's exactly what I was talking about. Getting loose off that first corner, and already some early troubles for our top 5 competitors. John Ross pulls away for the first place spot. Nathan Brzezowski and Nicholas Martinez Jr. battle for P2. Brzezowski pulls out front, but Martinez comes with a crossover. Martinez gets loose, up into Brzezowski. 2 cars around in front of the field with Michael Prince as well involved. Huge issues for the drivers in the back. They're still wrecking back there. Prince gets crab walked by Chance Page. It looks like we'll stay green because it's a road course. Already huge issues for Martinez, Prince, Brzezowski, and Abar. The only driver in the top 4 that has not had an issue is John Ross. He now has a 3-second lead over the field. The only driver to get through that one pretty much scotch-free was Nathan Brzezowski. Somehow found a way through it without extreme damage. He gets his way up back to second, passing Terry Vincent, but Vincent back to the inside. 97 holds on. Now he's going to try to run down John Ross. Was not expecting all of the early chaos here from the Charlotte Roval, but already a lot of issues for some of our fastest drivers. Brandon Kelly gets loose off the exit of the backstretch chicane. He saves it as well. Martinez back in line, but check out that front damage. He's back up to 10th, but that damage is definitely not helping that race car whatsoever for the 48. Even worst case scenario for Michael Prince, he is out of the race. He has parked the race car, so Michael Prince will be your first competitor out of the race this evening. That will not help his points situation coming into tonight. John Ross still pulling away, a 3-second lead over Brzezowski. Brzezowski trying to run him down. Martinez up to P8, but was not without some effort. Look at the cars behind him who are all ready to pounce if he makes another mistake, especially with that damage in hand. Keith Vaughn tried to go side by side there with Michael Weaver, and Chris Mackey couldn't do it. Mackey running a new scheme this week. It's a Freight Auctions style paint scheme for the number 9. Hoskins side by side with Alberto Abar, who also had issues. Abar started 3rd. He's all the way back now in P14 following those issues. Luckily, unlike a lot of leagues, there are stages tonight, so that'll help these drivers who have early issues here try to get back up in front of the field. Terrence Murphy's been one of those guys who have been very close to getting a win. I believe he got 2 second-place finishes this season. He seems to be fast everywhere he goes. Right now, he's currently running P5. How about the guy behind him? The 28 of Brian Matthews, usually a fringe top 15 competitor. Right now, he's currently in the top 5. That number 28 seems like it's fast. Running a new scheme this week, not Gator Squatch. Trying to read what it says. Something Squatch. And Black Rifle Coffee Company scheme as Austin Hobart slide to the inside to take back P5. I think that says Tactisquatch. I have a sponsor named Gator Squatch. Similar names. It's pretty cool. One car around in the dog leg. I believe it's a 42 of Calvin Harvey. No, it's actually Josh Gallagher in the 96. He'll get it back rolling. Nathan Brzezowski, the only guy to gain on John Ross. He even has damage on that race car. So that just shows you how much at 97 could be fast here tonight. He's got about a second that he's gained on the 44 of John Ross. Continuing to try to work with that car throughout his early issues. Doing a good job right now in P2. Terry Vincent back there in 3rd. He's been consistent the last few weeks at 13/number 1. Has been doing a pretty good job. He missed a few races at the start of the season, so that is currently keeping him outside of playoff contention, but still very strong efforts in the last few weeks from Terry Vincent. Hoskins goes for a spin. Struggling a little bit with that race car, falling back down to P21, the first car that would be lapped here eventually for number 47. But luckily, like I said, there are stages. No cars will be lapped in this stage, and they'll be able to regroup after the stage ends. Comparing lap times there with the leader compared to Nathan Brzezowski with that damage. Brzezowski was running about the same that time by, just a little bit slower, about a 10th slower. So that 97 probably struggling with that damage. If he didn't have that damage, he'd probably be running down the 44 right now. That's something to take note of. That 97 of Brzezowski, a fringe playoff driver. A win tonight would pay huge for the 97, but you can see he's fighting that race car every single corner, sliding off every single exit like it's a dirt track. I'm sure he's waiting on that first caution at the end of the stage to put himself in a position to repair some of that damage on that race machine. Brandon Kelly and Keith Vaughn side by side for P14 on the racetrack. 22 may try a crossover here. He'll stay slotted behind number 3. John Ross continues to lead. Looks like Brzezowski's starting to even out again, though. Let's compare the laps this time by, see where they're at. And that time, Brzezowski was faster, but again, it wasn't by a lot. They're running about the same lap times right now, but remember, the 97 has slight damage from the prior wreck on lap number 1 with Martinez Jr. So that just shows you, if he has a clean car, he could be a force to reckon with here tonight from the Charlotte Roval. One car around, Brian Matthews goes for a spin. He's stuck in the wall. He was running P6 at the time, and now he's stuck. He has to wait until he has a clear room of cars before he can get that car back fired. Finally going to be able to do so, but he's stuck now in P14. That's all it takes. One mistake on a road course, you can drop about double your positions from 6th all the way to P14 for Brian Matthews. He was doing so good as well. We'll see if he can rebound. Terrence Murphy up to 4th, Austin Hobart up to 5th. They were having a friendly battle there for a second. Brian Matthews still struggling, falling back now to P15. Oh yeah, look at that. That left front is destroyed. Huge rash marks on the number 28 left front. That will not help your race car one bit. Nicholas Martinez up to P5. Looks like Terrence Murphy had some issues. Fell back multiple positions. I want to get a replay on that one. I was really confused. He just dropped about 4 seconds of pace. Check this out. Problems for a top 5 competitor, Terrence Murphy. Let's see what happened. What in the world happened? Did he get sent? Did he get loose? Oh, he curb hopped and slid that race car. Did a good job recovering, but he loses a few spots in the process. Now back to P6 on the racetrack. A lot of issues here for some top drivers. But check this out. Nathan Brzezowski starting to run down John Ross. Despite that damage, he may still be able to catch up and win this first stage. Continuing to get faster every single lap. Wow, 6/10 faster that time by. And still running him down. One car around in turn 2. Keith Vaughn into 3. Get it back rolling. We're all good. So, based off the earlier wrecks we saw, I'm going to assume no cautions except for the stages. We saw a few big wrecks, but no caution was flown. So we're going to assume that's how it'll be the rest of the race. Only stage breaks for the cautions. However, there are some leagues who do stages without cautions. They just continue to run through the stage. So we'll see. I guess only time will tell. We'll find out together. Once again, comparing lap times this time by. Brzezowski's still faster. That time he was even more faster. That time about 7/10 over the 44. Continuing to run down John Ross. The 97 has some speed here at the road courses. There are a few of those in the playoffs. So if he makes a round of 12, that would be beneficial for the 97, especially if he gets a win. Graham and Vaughn fighting for P14. Alberto Abar back up to P7, battling with Lane Phillips for that spot. Those drivers who had issues earlier are starting to make their way back up through the field. Abar in 8th, Martinez in 5th, Brzezowski in 2nd. Only guy that was not able to do that was Michael Prince, who of course was out of the race due to damage. A few cars are in pit road. Jacob Hoskins and Brian Matthews are both down. Either some early pit stops or fixing damage. They are still down pit road though, so I'm going to assume they're fixing damage. So they'll go a lap down. John Ross continuing to lead. Brzezowski was gaining, but that time by he was not. Running pretty much identical lap times, 0.004 of a second slower. Call it even at that point. Seems like Brzezowski may be using up his stuff here with 8 laps to go in the stage. Starting to fall back a little bit. Michael Weaver battling with Chris Mackey. And how about Chance Page up multiple positions since the start of the race at 34. Started all the way back in P21, up 10 spots. So good early start from Chance Page. Speaking of gaining spots, we'll see the biggest gainers and the biggest losers here tonight. How about Jimmy Jason? Didn't even realize that, the 67. He's up 11 spots from a P23 to a P12. Austin Hobart up 7 spots from P12. Wow, according to the chat, Hoskins is out. He wrecked himself. Terrence Murphy and Austin Hobart side by side. Murphy passes Hobart for 5th. The lead battle is starting to cave away, so because of that, let's check and see the replay there on the 47 of Hoskins. I'm curious to see what happened to him. Gonna get a replay on the 47 to see exactly what went down. Oh man, yeah. In the same corner that Terrence Murphy had issues in. He hit a curb. Oh, no, he just got loose by himself, straight in the wall. Yeah, that's terminal right there. We saw the 74 of Austin Hobart come down pit road. Looks like he's getting some tires, so maybe the start of some green flag pit stops here. Hobart does have some dents in the left front, though, so possibly could be repairing the damage as well. Wow. Again, I won't spoil anything, but y'all gotta watch the Daytona Open Car qualifiers. The difference between second and third to make the race was very close. How about Brendan Kelly? Up to P12, passing Jesse Graham to do it. Jimmy Jason up to 11th early on. Oh, wow. 22 got loose in the corner. They're almost 3 wide off the exit. Jesse Graham goes to the inside. The leader, John Ross, approaching some lap traffic for the first time tonight. First one, Jamin Bernhardt gets out of the way. Whoa. Terrence Murphy got loose off the corner. Gonna give a spot away to Alberto Abar, who's back up to 5th. John Ross still out front, a 3-second lead over Nathan Brzezowski. Brzezowski starting to fall back a bit after gaining a few laps ago. Now he is slower by about a second. But I got a feeling the 97, if he has a clean race car with the damage fixed, he could be a guy to possibly win this thing. Oh, struggling with the lap car of Bernhardt. Gonna lose 2 seconds in the process. No real battles on the racetrack right now. Chris Mackey ahead of Michael Weaver. That's for P9 and P10. Looks like Austin Hobart's out of the race. He's just now coming out of pit road. Repairing damage, I'm going to assume. He's now multiple laps down. 5 laps to go for John Ross, continuing to dominate. Oh, whoa, big wreck in the backstretch bus stop. Looks like it was those 3 cars who were battling for spots a second ago. They all went around. Keith Vaughn, Jesse Graham. Oh, whoa, Graham just gets loose by himself, gets Vaughn involved as well. Forced to stop in the bus stop and relay time for the penalty of cutting the course, and he'll lose a few spots in the process along with the 15. That backstretch bus stop has been the arch nemesis for a lot of these drivers so far tonight. And here we go. Nathan Brzezowski down pit road. So I'm not certain if this means that people can't make it on fuel, or maybe some of these guys are short shooting, which honestly, think about it for the 97. Nathan Brzezowski will not give up any spots here if he comes down pit road and nobody else does. He'll be able to get back in the front of the field by not pitting at the start of stage 2. And he gets to repair some amount of his damage while the leader completes his lap. But it looks like he just got tires. I was thinking he was going to repair that race car a bit and skip the stage 2 brake caution to come down pit road, but never mind, just getting some tires. So maybe that means we're short on fuel for some of these drivers for the stage. Next time by will be 3 laps to go for John Ross. Ross has a 20-second lead over second place Terry Benton, a 30-second lead over third place Nicholas Martinez. The last few weeks, that 44 has been flying. And he has no intentions of coming down pit road this time by. 3 laps to go for John Ross. Terrence Murphy, Lane Phillips, and Chance Page all battling for position. How about Chance Page? And P8. Could be gaining some more spots here in a second. One car just skipped the bus stop. But check this out. Brzezowski was going so fast and gained so much time ahead of the other competitors that he pit and he still was in 5th, now up to 4th with Alberto Abar coming down. So that just shows you if you're fast here, it can pay off. Multiple cars down. Terrence Murphy, Alberto Abar. That could mean we're short on fuel for these drivers. It could also mean they're short pitting and will elect to stay out come at the end of stage 1. Ross coming up on some lap traffic again, this time 4 competitors. That will be Jimmy Jason, Jesse Graham, Brennan Kelly, and Keith Vaughn. A few of those drivers were wrecking each other out for the positions a second ago, so Ross will have to be very careful coming past these drivers. Two laps to go at the line for John Ross. Still having no intentions of coming down. He now has a 26-second lead over second place. A few cars battling back here. A few cars a lap down. A few cars on the lead lap. Austin Hobart slow off the pace. He's still struggling with that damage. Could have gone around while we were not looking. Doesn't look like the body of the car is damaged, but something inside that car is definitely slowing it down. Zach Lockett in the chat saying, let's go Adrenaline Racing. Upset he couldn't race tonight, but yeah, Martinez probably the biggest threat right now in third. Obviously, John Ross, too, who's leading the race. Third and fourth in the point standings, currently top 3 in the race. So Lockett's hoping these two guys fall out of the picture later down the road, as he will not be racing this and the final race next week at Atlanta in the regular season. Brandon Kelly goes to the bus stop once again. John Ross passes Daniel Holdcroft. This time that'll be the white flag for John Ross in stage 1. Looks like he'll stay out. He will not elect to pit. White flag in the air for stage 1. John Ross. Been dominant so far. Out of the 14 laps, he has led all of them. 22-second lead over second place Harry Vincent. A few guys did elect to come down, though. Short pitting to end stage 1, but he elects to stay out. He's been dominant so far. He'll give a spot away to Daniel Holdcroft. As Holdcroft gets his lap back, possibly some teammates working together or some friends helping each other out. After this stage, we'll still have 40 laps to go. Still plenty of racing left to come. But for now, it's been the John Ross Show. Looking to go back-to-back this season. Only one other driver has been able to do that. And Ross got his first win last week, late in the regular season, so could be a definite late race favorite or late season threat to win the championship. Oh, one car around, the yellow flag is out. Actually, no, it looks like that was the end of stage 1. They ended it 1 lap early. So the stage winner goes to John Ross in the 44. Oh, sorry, my mic was off. I was going to say your top 5, John Ross, Terry Vincent, Nathan Brzezowski, Nicholas Martinez, and Chance Page. How about Chance Page up 16 spots, up to P5 from P21 in just 15 laps? This guy could be a dark horse here. Was not expecting that, but he could be someone to watch out for as the night goes on. Pace car's out. I'm going to take a little break. I'll be right back to start stage number 2. Welcome back to the R2R Broadcast Network live coverage from the Grid Gold 125, part of the Full Send Cup Series at the virtual Charlotte Roval. And here we go. Pit stops are now underway. The entire field coming down. John Ross, your Stage 1 winner, will lead them down. Let's see who comes out first. As of now, nobody's staying out except for cars getting the laps back. And it looks like that'll be the case. So we'll see if John Ross gets out first. No, it won't. I was kind of expecting that one. Nathan Brzezowski's out first. He pit before the end of the stage. He'll be joined by John Ross, your Stage 1 winner, Alberto Abar in third, followed by fourth place Terrence Murphy, and fifth place Chance Page. Still in the top 5 following the pit cycles. Nicholas Martinez struggling there a little bit, repairing that damage. It looks like he'll fall back multiple positions. So Nathan Brzezowski now back up in the lead. I want to get a word with him and see what his strategy is here tonight from Charlotte Roval. Nathan Brzezowski, it's Cartilage in the booth. You have a copy.
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, Mr. Brzezowski, you are looking really fast tonight. Of course, on lap 1, you had a small incident that gave you some damage with Nicholas Martinez. But even with that damage, you were rolling down John Ross for quite a few laps before idling out. Looks like then you came down pit road for some early tires before the stage ended, and it actually paid off because you still finished top 5. And then it looks like after that, you elected to maybe take 2 on that set. Now you're back in the lead. Obviously, so much at stake for you this late in the season. You come into this race 14th in the point standings, about 13 points behind the cutoff. A win tonight would do you so many favors. Is that your goal here tonight, and how are you going to do it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously any race you come into, you want to win. Every race when you come into, you want to sweep the stages and win. So, I mean, of course, that's my goal. I feel like I'm just going to have to stay consistent. You know, first stage was a little bit iffy, just because we only had like 15 and a half laps of fuel. And the stage was at end of 15, so we were like saving. That's why I pit, because I was like, I kind of want to flip it just to be out in front. But I didn't expect to be third in the stage. That's honestly a surprise. But I feel like for this race, my main goal is to get as many points as possible. I'm obviously so close to the cut line where any point matters. So obviously, I feel like that kind of had that altercation with Martinez. If maybe I wasn't so close, I would have maybe given a little bit more room. But I mean, it's just racing.
Yeah, and looking at the cut line ourselves on the broadcast, Stephen Blevins is not up here tonight. Michael Weaver is a little bit farther back than you, and he's currently not in the top 10. And then Josh Gallagher outside the top 20, and Jesse Graham, or excuse me, Keith Vaughn back there in 12th. Jesse Graham back there in a farther position, I believe P12. So differing from the rest of the guys on the cut line, you look to be the one that is outperforming all of them. That would be huge for your points night tonight, and I'm sure you want to have a lot more patience coming into Atlanta and a lot more room to work with, because Atlanta, anything can happen. So as of right now, your car is fast, but you think John Ross is your biggest rival here today?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, John, no offense to anybody else, but I feel like me and John are really going to go toe-to-toe here. I hope we give you a good battle, but, you know, John's talking about giving me get a little bit more room just because we're teammates, trying to get me to the cut line. And obviously, going to Atlanta, like you said, anything can happen. So, I mean, you could be 30 points above the cut line and you could still get taken out at Atlanta. So, I mean, you can really never feel safe, you know?
All right, well, teammates up in the front row, looking like you guys could possibly get it done tonight. Good luck, and hopefully we'll talk to you later.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
And I believe this is Zach Lockett's team as well, so those boys doing pretty well for the 93 as he watches back at home here tonight. They could put one of these guys back in victory lane, possibly a new time winner in Nathan Brzezowski, but also possibly a back-to-back winner in John Ross. Alberto Abar, Terrence Murphy, your second row. How about Chance Page and Michael Weaver in row number 3? Pace car will come back down this time. By this stage will be a bit shorter than the first one because we're not starting on the first lap. We're starting about 4 laps in, so this will end on lap 30. A few laps under pacing already conducted, so it'll be about an 11 lap stage. A lot of cars out of the race already. Chris Mackey, actually, it looks like he's still in the race. Mackey, Hobart, and Matthews all lapped down. Hoskins out. Michael Prince is out. So a lot of drivers still struggling here early from Charlotte Roval. But a few guys, complete opposite. They're looking to get their first win or back-to-back wins here tonight. Well, here we go. Second stage from the Grid Gold 125 will now be getting underway. The Porsche will come back in until lap number 30. And the Adrenaline Racing front row, Brzezowski and Ross will kick him back off. To the restart zone we go. Green flag, once again back in the air.
Green flag.
Let's see who gets a good restart here. Good start for the 97 of Brzezowski. Not a good start from John Ross. Brzezowski leads the field back to green. Side-by-side action for P2. Alberto Abar, he's going to get loose, locks the brakes up in front of Terrence Murphy and goes around in front of the field. Everybody else gets through it okay, but Abar, once again, problems in the first lap. Going to lose all of the spots he just gained. Seems like a few drivers are struggling with issues tonight. Having a mistake on their end. How about Chance Page up to P3? This guy's going crazy tonight. Started back in P21. Watch out for that 34. I have a feeling he may be in this thing late. Oh, Terry Vincent to the inside of the 34. 34 gets a good exit. He'll maintain P3 for now. The Adrenaline Racing teammates, Brzezowski and Ross, starting to pull away. Brzezowski a 5/10 lead over John Ross. Terrence Murphy had a little bit of a mistake there. Now he's going to have another one. Straight in the inside wall. Terrence Murphy goes for a spin. And he will go outside the top 12 as well. A bunch of issues for a few of these guys that were up front tonight. Causing them a lot of mistakes. Jimmy Jason trying to enter the top 5 picture in the number 6-7. Michael Weaver up to 5th. Terry Vincent maintaining P4. Vincent and Page battling for the podium position. Whoa, Page goes a bit high. He'll give up a spot to Terry Vincent. Vincent back up to P3, comfortably now pulling away. John Ross putting the pressure on his teammate Nathan Brzezowski. Oh, gonna get to the inside here. Remember, like they were talking about a second ago, they are teammates, so they're gonna do everything in their power to race and fight against each other without wrecking each other out. So John Ross lets off, will fall back to 6/10 once again. He'll try his luck again in a few laps, or maybe even a few corners if he has some speed in the number 44. The 97 still has some damage. You can see some dents on the race car. I think it's just body work now. I think that car is repaired. If it wasn't repaired, he wouldn't be in the lead right now. That's for sure. John Ross back to the back bumper. Up Brzezowski there in the final corner. Whoa, one car loose in the bus stop. Keith Vaughn gets it back rolling. Yeah, but Brzezowski was talking about a second ago that he thinks him and Ross are going to go down to the wire. For now, they are. They're pulling away 6 seconds on the field, and they're still neck and neck with each other. We'll see when John Ross decides to make a move on his teammate. Definitely playing the safe route on the 97 so far. Will they battle for P1? Chance Page and Terry Vincent continue to battle for P3. They have also pulled away from the rest of the field. The rest of the field battling amongst themselves right now. Nine laps to go this time by from stage 2. Josh Gallagher around. He saves it. Let's take a lap of John Ross in number 44. Again, he's definitely playing conservative, trying his best to pass without wrecking out his teammate. Patience is key. That's for sure. John Ross knows that. That's how he won last week. Well, Stevie decides to make this move this lap. Oh, he gets to the back bumper of Brzezowski there. But lets off again. Whenever Ross loses time on Brzezowski after letting off, he always gains it back within a few corners. He's definitely faster, but he still has 9 laps to pass at 97. Maybe he's just waiting for the right opportunity. Or possibly waiting for Brzezowski to make a mistake on his own. That'll give him a whole lot of more leisure to pass without having to bump him out of the way. Vincent and Page still going at it. Well, Brzezowski got a bit loose there. Ross looking for a good exit here. Ross going to get back to the back bumper here. We'll see if he makes a move this time by. Or if he continues to once again play the patience game on his teammate. One car around off turn 2. Make that turn 1. Jamin Bernhardt, Jesse Graham. Both get him back rolling. Josh Gallagher around in front of the field. And he's going to park it. Josh Gallagher out of the race. This time by 7 laps to go for Nathan Brzezowski. Brzezowski and Ross continuing to be the class of the field here tonight, with some notable absences in Lockett and Bollinger. Both of those guys are good at road courses. I guarantee they'd be neck and neck with these two as well. It's time for Radioactive. Stick with us. I'll be right back in a few laps. While we were away on Radioactive, you saw it right there. Nathan Brzezowski got loose, oversent a corner trying to pass a lap machine. John Ross, your new leader. Ross also with issues with the lap machine. Jamin Bernhardt had to force the 12 out of the way, lock the brakes up. With 5 laps to go, these two are still under a blanket. We'll see if Brzezowski can get back to the 44 of Ross and pass him once again. I had a feeling Ross was having more speed. He was just waiting to show it. We'll see if Brzezowski gets back to the back bumper and possibly tries to get the lead back before the end of the stage. Points are so crucial for the 97. Oh, here comes Brzezowski. Gonna go to the outside, possibly a crossover here for the 97. Yup, exactly. A picture-perfect crossover from Nathan Brzezowski. Back to the lead he goes. And now he's going to pull away. Wow, 8 tenths. Gained 8 tenths in a single straightaway. Did not see that one coming. We'll see if John Ross gets the retaliation he wants. Coming up on 4 laps to go. He sent that corner a bit too much. Now he's going to fall back to about 1.3 seconds. Wow, what? Just what one crossover can do to you. Brzezowski is now about 20 car lengths ahead of Ross. And pulling away with 4 laps to go. Vincent and Page now trying to pass the lap machine on Jamin Bernhardt. Looks like Vincent had issues. Page goes back up to P3. Let's see what happened to Vincent there. Yeah, oversent the corner. Just went in the grass, had to let off some time. Brzezowski continues to pull away, now 2 seconds ahead of John Ross. Vincent wants that P3 spot back from Chance Page. Abar and Martinez also battle on back for P5. Watch out for that battle as well on the ticker. Vincent to the inside of the 34. Wow, what a corner! He's going to send it on the inside and make it stick. Vincent back up to 3rd. And Martinez passes Abar for 5th. Brzezowski still out front, now 1.2 seconds back though. Ross is gaining once again. Check that out. 2 tenths faster that time by for John Ross. This stage could still be in the hands of a number 44 to get back to back. Still have 2.5 laps remaining. And Ross seems to be running down Brzezowski ever so slightly. Abar wants that 5th spot back from Martinez. Just sent the corner on the 48. Will he cross over here? He's going to try. Won't work. Ross still 1.2 seconds back. Two laps to go this time by. The second has closed to 1 second, not for long. Ross gets loose off the corner exit, falls back to 1.9. Make that 2 seconds. That could have sealed the fate for number 44 in this stage. Got up to 1 second, now fell back to 2. As Brzezowski continues to lead. 2 laps to go for Nathan Brzezowski. He'll hit the white flag this time by. Two-car battles continue across the field. Vincent versus Page. Martinez versus Abar. And right behind them is a new one. Weaver versus Phillips for P7. Ross now falling back to 3.6 seconds. Ross having some issues. He needs a regroup for sure. Whoa! The 2-car of Weaver goes around in front of the field. Let's see what happened there. Maybe they were battling for position. Oh yeah, look at this. Fighting with Lane Phillips. Boom. White flag in the air for Nathan Brzezowski. And yellow flag is now out. That will conclude the stage. So your stage 2 winner goes to Nathan Brzezowski. Flipping his teammate John Ross to get that one done. Your top 5. Brzezowski, Ross, Vincent Page, and Nicholas Martinez coming into stage 3, 25 laps. Stick with us. The Grid Gold 125, more coverage in stage 3 coming up. I'll be right back. Welcome back to the R2R broadcast, the rig live coverage from the Charlotte Roval, the Grid Gold 125. My apologies, I was watching the under Daytona qualifying. Congratulations to those guys who got it. I will not spoil it. Check this out, though. One car elects to stay out. Daniel Holdcroft will be on the front row now. Looks like he's hoping for some luck here at the Charlotte Roval. Let's hear what his strategy here is for the 5 machine if he has one. Hey, Daniel Holdcroft, it's Cartilage in the booth. Do you have a copy?
I got you, buddy.
Hey, what's going on? Well, you're on the front row right now. Looks like you're having some strategy at hand. What's the opportunity and the goal here for the 5 machine?
Well, honestly, I missed Pepper.
Oh.
So, yeah, I figure I'll stay out, lead a lap, get a bonus point, and I ain't very fast on road courses anyway, so might as well just get as many points as I can.
So you're going to stay out here and hope the best, so we'll see what you can do, but yeah, thanks for letting us know.
Yes, sir.
I want to talk to the guy who Brzezowski's been against all race, John Ross, his teammate. Hey, John Ross, it's Cartilage. Do you have a copy?
Got a copy.
What's going on? Well, you won stage 1. Of course, it would be so sweet to go back-to-back here late in the regular season. The one guy who's holding you against that is the guy on the cut line, your teammate, Nathan Brzezowski. I'm sure you're kind of torn on what to do tonight. I'm sure you would love to get that second career win. What's the goal here for the 44 when it comes to winning this race?
Well, there is no need to be torn, my friend. We are wanting to get as many teammates as we can into the championship battle. So no options for us but to get this 97 car to the next round.
So you're going to be laying back? No challenges for at least passing him for the win is what I'm hearing?
Yeah, we need all of these adrenaline teammates as we can into the playoffs. So this is Nathan's race to lose here.
All right, you summed it up perfectly. It seems like you're going to help that 97 to the end. All I can say is good luck. Hopefully it goes right for adrenaline.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Wow, I was not expecting to hear that one. John Ross, who won stage 1, had an opportunity to go back-to-back this week. It seems like that will not be the case because it seems like his goal is to push that 97 to victory. Maybe that's why he slowed up so much after 97 passed him. Obviously, we are racing, so hopefully they still battle it out, but it seems like that 44 of Ross has no intentions of beating the 97 to the race line for this win. Terry Vincent, Alberto Abar, Lane Phillips, and Chance Page, your top 3 rows. A lot of underdogs in the top 6. Martinez back there in 9th. Well, here we go. This will be kicking off the final stage. From what we've seen the rest of the race, we're going to assume it's going to be the same. No more cautions to the end. It's go or go home. Figure out what you got right now and go for it. We'll see who comes out on top at the end of this thing. Seems like the only way Brzezowski's going to lose is a guy behind him in the second row on back passes him, or if he makes a mistake on his own. It sounds like that 44 of Ross is content with pushing him to the victory tonight. That would be a big win for Nathan Brzezowski, of course. Teammates always come in clutch. It's why it's always nice to have those. Yeah, Tyler Smith in the chat saying we want to watch a battle. Race him, Ross. Yeah, I mean, it is NASCAR. I wouldn't be completely happy if Ross just lets him have it. I want to see at least a little bit of effort, but from what I was talking to with the 44, I think Ross has no intentions. But we'll have to see. If Brzezowski makes a mistake by himself, it could force Ross into a situation where he'll have to pass 97, and then that'll change the whole perspective of this race. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Just like it's been all night, it'll be an adrenaline front row with Brzezowski and Ross. Pace car pulls back in for the final time tonight. Stage 3 underway from the Grid Gold 125. Who's going to get it done from Charlotte Roval?
Green flag, green flag.
And we're off. Good start from Brzezowski. Ross slots himself in second place. Here comes Terry Vincent to challenge. Whoa, Alberto Abar sent the corner on Ross there. Luckily, Ross did not hit Abar. Could have saved his race right there, but here comes Terry Vincent. He wants a shot to the inside. Almost clips the quarter panel of John Ross, entering the first few corners. Remember, no more cautions. If you wreck out, your race is over. These guys got to be aware of that as the race continues to go on. Lane Phillips passes Abar for P4. Remember, Lane Phillips is a teammate of Ross and Brzezowski. Could be trying to hold off Abar, Murphy, and Martinez here to give a little bit of gap to the front two. Don't be surprised. Terrence Murphy side by side. Chance Page goes around. That is so upsetting for the 34. He was up to third place at one point in this race, and now it's a parking lot off the turn one turn. No more cautions. Page falls back to P15. Terry Vincent back to the inside of John Ross. Has to slam on the brakes. Ross cuts him off. Vincent's got some speed. I think he wants to start showing it, but has to fall back once again as Ross gets back up to P2. .22 laps remaining. Looks like there's a big wreck on the backstretch. Looks like they all saved it. Tough break for Chance Page, falling back to P17. Abar loose off the exit of the corner. Brandon Kelly to the inside. Well, there's the gap. Brzezowski 1.3 seconds over John Ross, who apparently is going to give him this win. So that means the real battle is 2.2 seconds back with Terry Vincent. It's looking likely Brzezowski could go to victory lane tonight if everything goes right and he makes no mistakes on his part. Remember, there's always a commentator curse. Haven't seen it yet this race. Just saying. The main thing on the backstretch is watch out for those curbs. We've seen so many drivers tonight have the race ruined because of those curbs. It could happen at any point of the race and to any driver. All it takes is one little millisecond and one little smudge to the left or right of your race car for it to happen. John Ross maintaining 1 second behind Nathan Brzezowski. Whoa! Car's loose off the final corner, and Terrence Murphy again falls back to P6. Now battling with Nicholas Martinez Jr. for a top 5. Martinez slides over the outside and takes P5 from him. These three guys right here, Martinez, Murphy, and Abar, they've had a lot of self-inflicted issues tonight. Really been detrimental in their race. Vincent falling back to 3.5 seconds. Could be the only guy to pass Brzezowski tonight. With the news we received from Ross. Oh no, problems for Lane Phillips. Lane Phillips is now parked down pit road. Let's see what happened. He towed it. Got loose by himself. Face front in the wall. Right front. Destroyed. John Ross gaining on the 97 Brzezowski, but again, we just talked to him. He said he was not going to pass him. He was very adamant he was not going to do it. So, obviously, if you're faster than the guy ahead of you, it's probably weird just staying behind him for 18 laps, but we'll see what Ross decides to do. A second place effort for Brzezowski would still definitely help him in the point standings. 13 points back before tonight started. Austin Hobart about to get lapped for the second time tonight. Back there in P18. Ross getting to the back bumper of Brzezowski, but again, as we've seen many times tonight, he's probably just going to let off. Whoa, one car just got destroyed. Jesse Graham went around. He's stuck on the curb. Uh-oh. This could be a caution issue right here. If a car is stuck on the racetrack, I'm sure Graham does not want to tow it. Oh, he had to tow it. Wow. Jesse Graham has to tow his race car. Tough break for Jesse Graham. Worst case scenario, getting stuck on a curb like that. Yep. Nothing you can do about it. Vincent falling back to 5 seconds. Ross still in range. But as we've said many times, I don't think he's going to make that pass. Jimmy Jason goes around off the S's, stuck in the middle of the racetrack. Gets it back rolling. 18 laps to go. You won't miss a thing. We'll go on blip mode, and we'll see you in just a second for more coverage. You'll watch the live battle between Brzezowski and Ross for the lead. Welcome back to the R2R Broadcast Network live coverage from the Grid Gold 125 Full Send Cup Series action from the Charlotte Roval. Second to final race in the regular season. 12 laps remaining at the line. Nathan Brzezowski holding off John Ross. Ross, teammates with Brzezowski, talked before the Stage 3 started that he was going to give this win to Brzezowski and not challenge for it. So as of now, we're going to assume Brzezowski has this thing locked up. 13 seconds ahead of Terry Vincent, of course, unless John Ross decides to make a move here late. I don't think there's any rules on laying back for drivers if it's not affecting any other driver's position than yourselves. To the inside of Holdcroft goes Brzezowski. Oh no, Ross locks the tires up. Gonna get loose there and fall back a few seconds. Now 2 seconds behind Nathan Brzezowski, as Brzezowski pulls away even further. A nice three-car battle back here. Kelly, Vaughn fighting for position. Whoa, one car went around right in front of the leaders. Daniel Holdcroft, he holds on to it. Even though you're leading by 14 seconds because your teammate's not in effect, you still don't want to make a mistake. One mistake can get you in the wall, can terminally end your race. And just like that, your whole race is over. Your playoff dreams are doomed. Bernhardt went around again. He's been having some issues so far. One car goes around. Chris Mackey, actually, I think he's coming down pit road. Yes, he is. So Chris Mackey will come down pit road. We're starting our green flag pit stops, which will happen in this stage. Brzezowski passes Calvin Harvey to put him a lap down. That makes 11 cars left on the lead lap. We'll see when these guys decide to pit. Looks like Keith Vaughn comes down pit road as well. Actually, no, he was just slow. He's still out there. This time by, it'll be 10 laps to go. I don't expect anybody to be able to make it to the end. I do expect people to take no tires, though. Some guys may be looking off a strategy, but here we go. Brzezowski down pit road. His teammate Ross stays out. That's something to take note of. We'll see if Ross is able to come out before Brzezowski when he elects to come down pit road, but here we go. Nathan Brzezowski down pit road. We'll see if these guys also come down. Yes, they do. Terry Vincent comes down. Martinez stays out. Vincent comes in. Remember, Brzezowski had such a big lead. No matter what Vincent does, no tires, 4 tires, no fuel. Even if he does a drive-through, doesn't even pit, Brzezowski would still beat him out just because of how far ahead he was on the 13. 13 just now entering his box right as Brzezowski exits his box. So the only question is, does John Ross beat him out? And even if he does, I think John Ross will give up his position for the 97. Not sure if that's legal, but that's what he's been intended to do. That's what he told us. So Martinez stays out. He's up to second place, but of course, yet to pit. Michael Weaver comes down. Chance Page comes down. Will Ross come down this time by? Yes, he will. No, he won't. John Ross continues to stay out. So he'll reach 9 laps to go. Yet to pit still. One car around. Chris Mackey gets it back rolling. So Brzezowski 28 seconds behind Ross. We'll see how long it takes for Ross to do a complete pit stop. A good pit stop tonight has been under 30 seconds, so if he has a good pit stop, he'll be neck and neck with Brzezowski. I don't expect anybody to stay out. top 9 yet to pit. Make that top 7 yet to pit. Terrence Murphy down pit road. Again, we don't expect anybody to be able to stay out 8 more laps. The distance was 15.5. So, yeah, not feasible without a miracle, at least. And Ross is slow, and he's coming down. This will decide the race pretty much. Goes to the outside of Jesse Graham. Good job. Hopefully he did not speed. Seems like he was going a bit fast, but he should be okay. This will pretty much decide the win right here. And, of course, even though he may get out before 97, I believe the 44 will still give up the spot to Brzezowski, as he mentioned he would before. But, yeah, Ross is going to be slower. Brzezowski's just now coming out of the final 2 turns. So, yeah, he's going to easily be in the lead here. Well, maybe not. Ross comes out. Never mind. John Ross will be ahead of Brzezowski. Not by a lot, but by a second. But again, I believe he's going to give up the spot here to Brzezowski, which I wish he would battle for it, but he already told us his plan. Unless he changed his mind. Brzezowski approaching. I think he's going to give up the spot right here in this corner. Maybe not. One car goes around behind. That was Brian Matthews. He's been struggling a bit this race. Whoa, Brzezowski almost tapped the wall there for a second. There you go. Ross gives up the spot. I'm not sure how legal this is, but Ross gives up the spot to his teammate with no challenge whatsoever. Brzezowski back out front. Daniel Holdcroft goes around. I think he got turned. Yeah, I believe he just got turned. Or maybe got loose. Let's see. Oh, yeah, he just got loose. That's what happened. Seven to go for Nathan Brzezowski. One car loose ahead of him. That will be Keith Vaughn, one of his playoff rivals. Vaughn needed a better effort tonight to match Brzezowski. He was not able to do so. About to be lapped. Whoa, one car around. Brandon Kelly. Leaders will pass, no issue. Well, actually, Kelly goes ahead of John Ross. Either way, Brzezowski now out to a 1.5 second lead and gaining away from the 44 of John Ross. Six laps to go at the line. I'll see in a few more laps to conclude and commentate the final few laps for the Grid Gold 125. 2.5 laps to go for Nathan Brzezowski. This win would put him comfortably in the top 12 point standings coming into Atlanta. A win does not guarantee you lock in to the round of 12. However, coming in 13 points below the cut line, Brzezowski would definitely be above following tonight's event. 10-second lead over John Ross. 26-second lead over Vincent and Abar. They are going to have quite a battle for third and fourth. Looks like Abar gets a bit loose though, so possibly not. Coming across the line, it'll be 2 laps to go for Nathan Brzezowski. Continuing to dominate tonight. He has yet to win all season. He's been close a few times. Same situation as John Ross last week. And now another Adrenaline Racing driver will punch his ticket into one step closer to the round of 12 playoffs and punch his ticket to be a winner this season. Brzezowski's been here since the beginning of the league and has always been looking for that first career win. As long as he gets around 1.5 more times, he will be your winner tonight for the first time, and this will be monumental to pushing him forward into the round of 12. Battle for third, fourth, and fifth going to go down to the wire. Right now, Abar and Martinez fight for fourth. Martinez to the outside, make that the inside, entering the next corner. Going to send the corner on the 43, get the 4th place spot from Abar. Now try to run down Vincent for a top 3 podium for your daily dose of Martinez interviews. But here we go, coming to the white flag this time by for Nathan Brzezowski. He'll see it. White flag in the air. One more lap around the Charlotte Roval for Nathan Brzezowski, and he will be a winner from the Charlotte Roval. Passing Terrence Murphy. Oh no! No! Nathan Brzezowski has just blew his engine! Running straight in the wall! What in the world just happened? And he is out of the race! Lead cycles to John Ross. What in the world just happened? What in the world just happened to Nathan Brzezowski? He is out of the race. What in the world? John Ross now takes the lead. The battle will be on for P2. Vincent and Martinez going to go at it. I have no idea what just happened. Martinez slides across. Vincent back to the inside. This will be the battle for P2. I have no idea what happened to Nathan Brzezowski. I guarantee you he is just livid right now. And not the way he wanted to do it, but coming out of the final corner, your winner is going to be John Ross. He will be the winner from the Charlotte Roval after his teammate wipes himself out on the last lap. Coming across the line for P2, Martinez will beat him. That is Vincent I'm talking about. Let's see who gets third. It'll be Vincent versus Abar. Bumping and banging for position. Abar sends the corner. Oh, bumps him out of the way. They're both going to lose it. Out of nowhere. But they're going to still beat him off. It'll be Vincent that gets third. I cannot believe it. John Ross, your winner, after Nathan Brzezowski wrecks himself out. John Ross coming home the winner from Charlotte Roval. Not the way he wanted to do it. Want to get some insight. I'd rather talk to you. I'm sure Brzezowski's not happy. What happened in 97?
Yeah, it just seemed like he blinked out, or the steering wheel disconnected. Something happened to him there right at the end. It's just par for the course for that young man so far this season.
Wow. So unfortunate. Obviously for you, a pretty great night for you. Obviously getting back-to-back wins. Now possibly can get yourself a chance at the season championship, regular season championship at least. with Lockett being absent next week. But yeah, I mean, you were in the voice call with him, so did he have any reaction when that happened, or was it just a confusion?
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously very disappointed. I mean, we kind of knew that that Nate was going to be quick here. We wanted him to get a win. It was really important for him to try to get into that cutoff line or above that cutoff line going into Atlanta. That was the whole goal here. So yeah, he's very disappointed. Again, I think maybe his wheel just shut off. Something like that happened, and yeah, man, it cost him a win tonight.
You know, in real life, they have mechanical issues. On iRacing, they have internet issues. So sometimes that happens. Unfortunately, that just happened. The worst case scenario. Looks like you're not even gonna burn it down. Well, maybe you are, but
yeah, I'll come over here and burn it down for everybody.
All right. Well, we'll let you burn it down. We'll talk to you again in a second.
All right, sounds good.
Wow. So John Ross comes home with the victory. He'll burn it down. I'm sure this is a bittersweet burnout for the 44. Not the way he wanted to do it. Congratulations, John Ross, going back to back. Wow. As John Ross continues to burn it down, I do want to have a special interview. I want to talk to Nathan Brzezowski. Obviously, I'm sure he does not want to have an interview like this, but I do want to talk to him, at least for a second there, get his side of the story before we go to our post-race interviews here tonight. Hey, Nathan Brzezowski, it's Carl with you. Have a copy?
Yeah, man, I got it.
All right, well, I know this is not the way you wanted to be on an interview, but I do want to have a special interview with you just because I want to get a good insight of what happened to you in the last lap there. It just seemed like coming off a corner, your wheel disconnected or your internet blinked out, something that was out of your control. What exactly happened there to 97 there?
Yeah, I think my wheel disconnected. I had that issue in practice, but I was like, oh, maybe it's my e-stop. And it wasn't, obviously. My wheel just disconnected. Just terrible luck. I feel like I can't find any luck in this league. I don't know where I am in the points now that I'm 7th, but it just sucks.
Yeah, obviously, heartbreaking loss for you. Obviously, you finished 7th, you said, so that still is going to help you tonight. It seems like your main rival, Keith Vaughn, he finished, he finished in 10th, so you would still be a bit behind of him, but Jesse Graham finished 15th, so you would gain a few spots. It would be probably about a 9-point cushion, maybe a few less with your stage win coming into the final race in Atlanta, but I mean, I was talking with John Ross. In real life, they have sudden mechanical issues. It seems like on iRacing, and instead of mechanical issues, it's sudden internet issues for some drivers. And unfortunately, tonight it just happened at the worst possible time. I mean, you literally had to come around for 40 more seconds. But I do want to give you an opportunity. You led 35 laps tonight. You are obviously going to win that race. I want to give you an opportunity to shout out anybody if you want to have the opportunity to do so.
Yes, sir. I want to shout out RKC for sponsoring me. And obviously, John Ross, a great teammate. There at the end, we tried not to really battle each other where I was in the points. It really wasn't worth it. And everybody had adrenaline for making me, feel like I'm at home. But yeah, I mean, any kind of luck would be good luck, or any kind of luck that I could get. I haven't gotten, so it sucks. But hopefully, I can use this bad luck and hopefully get some good luck in the playoffs if I get there.
Yeah, well, if you need good luck, Atlanta's either great luck or terrible luck. Hopefully next week it can be on your good side. But always appreciate talking to you, and hopefully next week you can get on the victory lane spot deservedly for the first time this season. I hope you have a good night.
You too, man.
And that was Nathan Brzezowski, who had the issues in that final corner. Before we go to our post-race interviews, here is your final results, unofficially from Charlotte Motor Speedway, your top 18 on the board. We'll interview John Ross, Nicholas Martinez, and Terry Vincent here in just a second. Stick with us for the post-race interviews on the R2L Broadcast Network to finish off tonight's action from the Charlotte Roval. All right, let's talk to Terry Vincent, who finished third tonight. Another very consistent run from that number 13 driver. Let's see how his race went. Hey, Terry Vincent, it's Cartilage in the booth. You have a copy.
Yeah, I got you there, bud.
Hey, what's going on? Well, originally it looks like it was going to be a top 5 effort for you, but after the issues from the leader, Nathan Brzezowski, on the last lap, you were able to fight it out with Alberto Abar, and after spinning on the final corner, it looked like Jimmy Johnson I believe that was also the Charlotte Roval, battling with another driver a few years back in the Clash, I think it was. You wrecked it and were able to come back around in third tonight, and you were pretty fast tonight. You were top 3, top 5 most of the race. It seemed like the last few weeks you've been getting the hang of your car. How did it feel tonight?
It felt pretty good. So, after end of stage 1, I sewed like 4.5 minutes of damage, so I was just dealing with that the rest of the race.
Yeah, that would definitely do it for you. Any damage here would affect your race car. Do you think if without that damage you could have been up there with the likes of John Ross and Brzezowski tonight?
They still probably capped me pretty good, just considering the practice times during the week.
Yeah. Well, you did finish third tonight, and last week you had a good result as well, so congratulations on that. Obviously, I don't think you're going to be in playoff consideration, a bit too late for the number 13 camp, but you are starting to give some good podium runs here, so congratulations on that. And is there anybody you want to shout out for your result tonight?
Thank you for great gold putting the race on, and I'd like to thank my wife for putting up with this, like most of the week.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate all of them. We appreciate you coming out, and hopefully next week in Atlanta you can finally get that first career win, bud.
Hopefully.
All right, have a good night.
You too.
Next up is Nicholas Martinez, who finished second tonight. Number 48, once again back on the podium. 1 spot shy of a win. He was definitely not the fastest car tonight, unlike his usual self, but finishing second still gives him a shot at the regular season championship next week at Atlanta. Nicholas Martinez, it's Cartilage in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
What's going on? Finally able to talk to you again. We've been on like a drought the last few weeks. Finally back in the booth with you. Finished second tonight. Honestly, second place would probably be the best case scenario for you. Brzezowski wrecks out last lap, and that puts yourself in a second place spot after passing Terry Vincent on the last lap. You were actually, from what I would recall, you were in fifth there with about 3 laps to go, so getting all at the second there was really some luck, but mainly just a lot of good clean passes there at the end of this thing, passing Abar and Vincent to get it done. But obviously short of a victory tonight to John Ross. How did the car feel tonight?
Felt terrible. I hate it. Never ever want to come back to the Charlotte Roval again. It's good to have some diversity in the schedule. Just keep me far away from it. But
Yeah.
I mean, good point today. I want to give a shout out to the sponsor, Grid Gold. Thanks for sponsoring the race. But it was just, we just had our ups and downs. We never had a clean car. At the beginning, got into an altercation with the 97. Got around 2 minutes of damage from that. Got it all fixed after stage 2, and then right as soon as the green flag dropped at stage 2, somebody wrecked another guy in front of me, and then I got left front damage. So I mean, overall, just really, really bad luck. But we went ahead and made the most of it. And yeah, like you said, I was pushing like Verstappen on those last 5 laps. I was like trying to squeeze out fast lap after fast lap after fast lap, and it worked. Obviously, I came home second, and on to I'm not even sure what the next race is.
Next race will be the regular season finale at Atlanta Super Speedway.
Okay.
And there is some news in the booth. Bollinger did not race tonight, neither did Lockett, and Lockett's not racing next week. So, finishing second tonight, you were 83 points behind before tonight. Finishing second, I'm not sure how the point system works, so I'm assuming you'll get to like 40 points tonight. So,
Roughly, I'm not sure how much I would get for stage points, but
yeah,
roughly about that.
So, 83 points back. Depending on how much points you got tonight for finishing second, that would be doable. if Lockett and Bollinger are both absent next week, you could still be in a position to get yourself the regular season championship. Of course, John Ross going back-to-back the last 2 weeks also didn't help. He came into tonight 100 points back. So I think he would, even with the win tonight, I don't think he's in the conversation. I think it would just be you versus Lockett, who's not racing. But either way, you finished second. You were absent last week, back on the boards, and then coming into the playoffs here. Are you excited to possibly get this 48 into a championship position?
Absolutely. I think we have a better shot winning any race in the playoffs than I did for most of them in the regular season. I feel very confident about tracks like Vegas, Phoenix, Darlington, Bristol. Just a lot of tracks in there, really. Like I feel really confident going into the playoffs. But it's the playoffs; anything can happen. So we'll just have to just go through it 1 week at a time, like I've been doing for the past however many weeks. So
Yeah. Well, it's always nice talking to you again. Usually it's consistent. I think we haven't done this in like 2 or 3 weeks, so I'm glad to have you back up here.
I think Lockett put a curse on me after I got wrecked out at Pocono.
You think so?
Yeah, I think there's been a curse on me ever since because.
Well, I think the curse got eliminated because you're back up to second. So maybe it's gone now.
Hopefully, knock on wood. But
yeah. But anything you want to shout out before we let you
go? Gold Grid, like I said, shout out to them for sponsoring the race. My team, Burnt River Racing Warehouse, PBR. Want to shout out everybody who competed today. I wouldn't have a race without them. And I want to shout out you for streaming the race as per usual.
Yeah, and you know what they say? They always like me in the booth and not on the racetrack. Because when I'm on the racetrack, I usually wreck out the field. So always nice to be able to talk from you up here. And hopefully next week in Atlanta, we'll see you back in Victory Lane.
Yeah, hopefully. See you.
All right, see you. All right, and concluding tonight, we'll have John Ross back up one more time. And then we're going to call it a night. We already talked to him a second, but we'll talk to him again to conclude the broadcast. Oh, hold on. I got to switch it to John Ross. Martinez did not win. There we go. Hey, John Ross, one more time. Charles Booth, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm here, man. I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. This I know we already talked to you, but this can be our official post-race interview. Obviously, now you synced in this win. You weren't expecting to get this win. It kind of came in your lap, but coming into this race, you could go back to back, and you were able to get it done. And coming into the playoffs here, you're looking to be a dark horse candidate late in the season to possibly root for a championship here. So coming into the playoffs, do you have any hope that you can bring these wins and more consistency and more victories in the playoffs?
I think earlier on in the season there was some consistency issues. I think a little bit of it was bad luck, and then a lot of it was a lack of talent, on my part. But so I do feel like coming in, I'll miss probably a race, maybe even two, because I do quite a bit of travel. But it's a lot of fun. It's a fantastic league. It's ultra competitive. I thought tonight, we come in with a good game plan for the Adrenaline team. We certainly knew that Nate was right there on the line. We know he's really quick at road. So, wanted to give him all the opportunities, and just a shame that, his wheel shut off on him there on the last lap. So kind of bittersweet. Yeah. Hey, I'll take a back-to-back, but really shame that Nate couldn't bring it home tonight.
Yeah. And he was talking about luck not being on his side, and obviously being teammates can really help you all out. Luckily for you guys, this could be luckily, or it could be the worst case scenario, but next week is Atlanta Super Speedway. So, teammates come into play there. Luck comes into play there. It can either go your way or it can go the complete opposite way for you. So, obviously, is your goal now next week to push 97 or the 18 to victory lane?
Yeah, I mean, really, we've got Lane and I think Zach's going to be out one more, week next week. So it's really going to be Lane, Nate, and I. And yeah, I mean, the same goal, this week will be next week, which is get as many of these Adrenaline teammates as we can into the playoffs, because we're all quick in our own right, and that includes Nate and Lane and Zach. So anything can happen in the playoffs.
Yeah, well, you said it perfectly, and like you said, fell into your lap, but you'll still take it. And next week, hopefully we can get, or you guys can get Adrenaline all into the playoffs at Atlanta. Well, we'll let you finish off the broadcast tonight. Anybody you want to shout out for your win tonight at the Charlotte Roval?
Yeah, as always, we do certainly you for broadcasting this league. And I hear, congratulations, my friend. I hear you have several other broadcasts going on throughout the week. So congratulations to you on your success. Great to see it. We love watching you every single week. I want to shout out Chris Mackey, really running the league. This is the first season. We've got trophies coming in some of these races. I think tonight earned a trophy. So shout out to Terrence Murphy and everything that he does there. So great job. A lot of amazing things going on here and a lot of big plans for season 2. So, really thank you to Chris Mackey and everybody else that pitches in here. And then I want to thank my Adrenaline teammates, and such a heartbreaker here for Nate. I think really Lane had a good car, but man, the frustration overcome him tonight. But Lane Phillips, and then always Zach, not here with us tonight, but man, you are definitely here in spirit. So we appreciate all those Adrenaline teammates.
Yeah, he was in the chat a little bit too, so I'm sure he'll watch this back and see everything that played out. But at least Adrenaline still made their way to victory lane, and I appreciate your shout outs to me as well, and everybody else you mentioned. We'll have a good night, Mr. Ross, and hopefully next week you can either go a hat trick or you can get one of your guys in victory lane for Adrenaline.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right, have a good night.
You too.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes my portion of the broadcast. Of course, one more time, we're going to make sure we go over the final results, and then we're going to call it a night here from the Charlotte Roval. Very nice night of action, as always, for the Full Send Cup Series. Always appreciate the opportunity to broadcast for a high-quality league like themselves. One more time, congratulations to John Ross on his victory. And one more time, I'm going to go over the final results. John Ross, Nicholas Martinez, and Terry Vincent, your top 3. Alberto Lebar and Michael Weaver, your top 5. Shout out to him. Chris Mackey, Nathan Brzezowski, unfortunately, in 7th. Chance Page, Terrence Murphy, and Brandon Kelly, your top 10, with Calvin Harvey, Keith Vaughn, Daniel Holdcroft, Austin Hobart, and Jesse Graham, your top 15. Jamin Bernhardt, Brian Matthews, Jimmy Jason, your top 18. And rounding out your field tonight, we have a few other competitors, including Lane Phillips, Josh Gallagher, Jacob Hoskins, Michael Prince, and that concludes your field. Final time in the booth, I am Zachariah Carlich. We'll see you next Wednesday for the regular season finale at the Atlanta Super Speedway before we kick off the round of 12. As always, have a good night, stay safe, and we'll see you around for more action beginning next time on Sunday for Oak House Racing.